Hey, welcome to our second lab, working with the Azure resource of Application Gateway. We're going to extend this lab a little farther by having two regions. So configuring the gateway for multiple regions. So if you went through the first lab, there'll be some redundant steps, but some of the steps will also be, of course, different. So let's get started by creating our network infrastructure and creating our VNet and subnets for our gateway. So we'll just do an add, type in VNet, create. And we're going to use the same resource group, speed.rg, and we're going to call this speed VNet, and we'll go with East US and IP addresses. Oh, we can create everything here. So we'll delete this one, and let's see, we want to create a new one. Do 192.168.1.0. Oops, 0.0 /16 and subnet add. First, we'll create the subnet for the gateway itself, and we'll call that. I wrote it down. Let's call that gateway subnet. No, let's actually call it app gateway subnet. Not to be confused, just a plain old gateway. And remember, the only resources that can go into a gateway subnet are gateways. Because we only have one gateway. No reason to waste a whole 24. So we'll do 28. Add. Let's add one more subnet to our VNet. This we'll call the web subnet. That's going to where we place our two VMs, one for each site. 2.0/27. There we go. Excellent. I think we're ready to review and create. All right, our deployment is complete. So let's go to our resource group. And create our gateway. And let's call this speed app gateway. And let's put that in the East US. And this time we're going to go with a version 2. And you'll see, remember last time we did the first lab, we went with version 1. And it took a long time to create. This one should be much, much quicker. It's going to be amazing. Leave all this the same. Virtual network. And make sure we picked the right one. So the VNet is a VNet. I mean, speed VNet is the VNet. And for the gateway, we want the smaller one, app gateway subnet. Excellent. Go to our front end. And we're going to do a public. And we want to add a new IP address. And we want app gateway PIP. And notice we're now static and standard. And then the back end, we're going to add a backend pool. We're going to call this one. If you've taken any of the Microsoft exams before, you know, two fictitious companies, they use a lot of Contessio and Fabricam. So we'll continue in that tradition. And we'll call this in the Contessio pool. Let's do the CONTOSO pool. And add backend pool without targets. Yes. So do an add. And add another backend pool. And this time we're going to add Fabricam. Fabrikam pool. And again, add without targets. Go on to configuration. We'll add we did the front end, so now we want to do routing rules. And you guessed it, this will be the Contessio rule. Contosorule. For the listener, we'll go ahead and call it Contessio listener, LISTNER. Front end IP will be public. And this time, a little different than last time, we want multiple sites. And this is where we type in the URL. So www.contessio.com. And everything looks good there. Oh, backend targets. So backend pool would be Contessio. HTTP settings. Add a new one, and we'll call it Contessio HTTP setting, and it'll be on port 80. And all that looks okay. So we'll say add. Add. So we'll go ahead and add another routing rule. This one will be for Fabricam. AB RIKAM rule. Listener name FAB Fabricam listener. Front end IP public. Then multi-site, and we want www.fabrik.com. The backend targets. Wants Fabricam pool, add new. Fabricam HTTP setting. We'll go with port 80. All that looks good. Looks like I got a space in there. The name must begin. Oh, we got a space right there. There we go. Add. Looking pretty good there. Don't care too much about tags. We'll review and create. Everything looks good here. We got the name, correct region. We're putting it in the right subnet. It's all right. Now notice how much quicker, this should be much quicker than the last time. Normally a standard one takes about 30 minutes. Let's see how long this one takes. It's been 1 minute and we had the IP address. It's working on the gateway. Looks like it took about 5-6 minutes. So way quicker than before. Let's go check out our resource group. And there's our nice little gateway. Note that we have 2 backend pools, but no targets. So we need to work on our VMs. So let's go check out over here. Let me clear my screen here. Some stuff I was working on earlier. And bring this up. There we go. And we're going to create a VM. Use Windows 2016 Data Center. It's going to be version 2. Let's call this, make this number 1. And come on over here, make this a 1. And of course, make this a 1. That's all we have. So we'll go ahead and run this. Where's my little icons? That's weird. I must have unchecked show toolbar. Whoops. View. Oh, I clicked on something that doesn't like. Oh, there we go. View, show toolbar. There we go. All right. Make sure this gets started. I see a little graph. We'll wait till it gets about 5%. Then I'll pause the video. Oh, we're at 5%. I think it's time for me to have some dinner. VM was created and that was quick. So we'll change this to a 1. And we'll go ahead and install IS on that one. And while that's running, let's change this to a 2. Change this to a 2. Change this to a 2. Do a save. And we'll get ready to run that as soon as that's finished, which I expect shouldn't be too long. Okay, it looks like we got one machine, one VM with created and with IS installed. So we're ready for our second one. I just changed everything up here correctly and we'll run it. And while that's going, let's go check. We'll do a refresh. There's our first one. And we could check and see if IS is installed. And there it is. Looks like we're doing well with that one. We'll just wait for this one to be finished now. All right, VM's created. Change this to a 2. Do a little save, and now I'll run this. All right, it looks like we have success on the second VM. Let's go back to our resource group, do a little refresh, and we'll check the second one. And extensions, looking pretty good. Let's go back to our gateway now and fill in our backend pool information. Go to Contesto. We'll add a virtual machine. And we want this one. Do a save. All right, that one was successful. We'll do the same for this one. Save. Okay, that finished as well. So let's go back to backend health and check that out. Looking good there. You can see we have both pools with the status of green. So what you want to do next is notice we have one IP address in the gateway. So I'm going to copy that clipboard now. And we need somehow using the same IP address for it to go to either website. And that is why we defined in the listeners, I do believe, why we defined this URL. So let's go to our host file. Because normally you'd have DNS do this if this is real life. But since we don't have an external DNS, we'll use our host file on this PC to simulate. So I'm going to go to, oh, hold on. I'm going to start Notepad here. I'm going to run it as an administrator so I can save the file. And the host file, if you're not sure where it is on Windows 2000, it's in the Windows System 32 drivers etc directory, and there it is. And we want to change, I already had the 2 entries in there, but this is not the correct IP address for this current gateway. So we're going to put that in. And then we'll manually change this one to 40.88.21.110. So now if I type this into a browser, it's going to go to this to the web server called VM1. If I type this in a browser, it's going to go to VM2. So let's save this file. Let's go to a browser. And there is VM1. And if we go to www.fafabricom, we should get VM2. I think that's spelled wrong. Yes. fabrickhim.com. Still didn't work. All right, let's check what we have in here. Let's take that. Control V. It's still taking a while. Is that right? Fabric. Hold on. Fabric there. So we need to put fabric here. Now it matches. File save. Let's go here and refresh. Third's a shot. I still think it's, oh, there we go. Yes. So now we got VM2. So Contesto. And there we go. VM2 for Fabric. So it looks like we've had some good success. Really easy to clean up after this lab. Just delete the resource group. But I think we're going to extend the lab to where we can set up some simple monitoring. So what we want to be able to do is, we have these endpoints. So what happens when the endpoint goes down? You want to be alerted. So we'll test that out.